Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop on this Sunday night. I'm Gav, that's Seany, that's Keith. Our own mucker Emma is in Liverpool, so he can't do the show. He went over to collect his phone from the last time he was there. So I hope that's all gone well. But he was there. Liverpool won. He had a ticket, which was great, and he's well into a good session at this stage, I'd say. So it's me, Seany, and Keith for tonight. Liverpool 3, Brentford 0 at Anfield earlier on today. Keith, how are you?
I'm good, yeah, good. A good day watching the footy today. I was only saying to you off, I had a bit of a stressful week, with a bit of a a bit of a mad one.
Yeah.
I don't get stressed usually, you know what I mean, but shy getting in my life now that I could do without. So yeah, that made me go out with a few points last night. And I don't drink much, you know what I mean? I'm not much of a drinker. But I had a few points of Guinness last night, and I thought today I would have been feeling the worst for it. But no, it was a good day today. I enjoyed the football, the air match, and the City and Chelsea game afterwards. So yeah, it was a good day. Good day had by all. Well, by me.
Yeah, and that's all that matters.
That's it. That's all I care about.
Chris Brack says Emma has joined the Brentford at Anfield crew, which of course is made up of two people now, Keith and Emma. So I'm sure Emma will spend a year telling us about the game, like Keith did.
Emmett's already spoke more about his game at Brentford than I ever fucking did.
I don't know about that.
Mention it once.
Seany, how are you getting on?
Good. Like, I don't know about everyone else, but this is kind of like the last weekend that doing fuck all before it's just the snowball of madness now right up until New Year's. That's the way it's worked out for me. Literally like 6 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Just meeting people for the customary, I'll see you this time next year point. So basically today and done fuck all today and yesterday, thinking I mean well in the knowledge going, I'd love to be doing this in a few weeks' time, but I'm gonna be doing some sort of shit, I'd imagine. That's Christmas related. So it's creeping up fast, and I know we probably might touch on it later at some stage regarding something else. But yeah, what's loads of football this weekend?
I watched a little bit. I caught the last half hour of Chelsea and City. Of course, watched Liverpool. Did I watch that yesterday? Watched maybe a bit of Bournemouth and Newcastle. Was it Bournemouth and Newcastle yesterday? 5:30, wasn't it? So yeah, I've got little bits here and there. The only full match I've seen was Liverpool, to be honest. But yeah, we will touch on Christmas later on, because it is, you're right, it's getting into the stage now where every weekend it's like, I'm just going to go over a point with him, or I'm going to go over a point with them, and it's just non-stop. It feels like it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday every bleeding week until just into the new year, when you go, I'm just going to go at one last point just to finish off Christmas. And it's about the 15th of January when you're doing that. But look, I think that's allowed. And there's a big storm coming tonight over Ireland as well. So if it gets here early and blows all the internet out, you know what happened. There wasn't much sleeping early.
Just going to blow all the internet off the face of the earth.
Yeah, just the internet will be there, and the next minute it'll be just blown over.
Late and all tomorrow because of this fucking storm.
Yeah, schools are starting late, 10 o'clock, which is just fucking...
4:45 for mine. Late ridiculous time.
Yeah, I know, yeah. And my young only goes in fucking 9 to 12, and it's like 3 hours, and it feels like 10 minutes when they go in. Now 10 to 12, it's like fucking hardly worth it. But listen, take the 2 hours over nothing, I suppose. Anyway, Liverpool 3, Brentford 0. And Keith, going into this one, you know what, the back of the Luton result, and a little bit, to a lesser extent, Toulouse, you were looking for a bit of reaction off Liverpool, but more importantly, you were looking for Liverpool to take 3 points going into the international break and put themselves maximum 3 points behind the league leaders, Man City. Turns out it was 1 because Man City drew at Chelsea. But was there any nervousness going into it, Keith? I was a little bit nervous, not because Brentford, it was more, you know, I hate going into an international break with a negative result of any sort. And then when you looked at all the players that were out and you looked at the bench that we had, and I thought, if this gets a bit sticky, we probably have 2-3 options off the bench. To change a game. We don't have 5. Were you a little bit sceptical going into this one?
I think on the last week or so, the performances have been shaky at best. I don't think Liverpool have been great. You can go back to the Bournemouth game in the Cup, and then Luton obviously last week, and Toulouse then. But when you think about that as well, I suppose it's a win against Bournemouth. It's a draw against Luton. It's not ideal. It is what it is. You just have to move on from that. And to lose, right, we lose over there, but ultimately it doesn't really have much of an impact. I wouldn't have thought on our Europa League group. I think we'll still win the group. I think it maybe just means we have to play stronger than we would have liked. But ultimately, I think we've had a poor week, and it looks like the momentum had started to maybe slow down that we'd created throughout the season so far. And I was a little bit worried going into today, just because I think Brentford are a good team. I think they're a really good side. I think Thomas Frank, we were speaking beforehand, and I think he's a really good coach, and I think he sets his teams up well. So I was a bit worried. Obviously, we take into account that well, the first 11 was a strong 11. We knew the bench was going to be a little bit weaker, and it was a bit of a shy hemorrhage when you saw the names on it. It was one that I thought could have been a bit of a banana skin. You know, as I said, they're a good side, and I think it played out that way. They tried to catch us on the break, but there was some really, really standout performances in the Liverpool ranks today that we'll talk about coming in. So yeah, worried, maybe not, but a bit of trepidation in it, I'd say.
Seany, was there any trepidation from you with regards to this game? I think the only things I seen before the match, and it kind of mirrored what I was thinking, was first 11 absolutely fine, but we've seen Brentford go away to Chelsea, and they can really. I think did he lose late at Man United as well, where they're really fucking good.
Yeah.
And my only thing going into it was first 11 absolutely fine, but if Brentford absolutely dig in here, what are we changing and what have we got to change? That was the only thing that was worrying me. Just get it over the line and get the 3 points. What were you like?
Yeah, when you look at a lot of our games this season, you always kind of think that there's something on the bench there to change the game up if need be. And like, I understand the word trepidation coming into it after the Luton and the Toulouse performances, which just weren't good enough, to be honest with you. Again, I kind of try to look at things in blocks, and I think when I looked in the block, I said, and I wasn't being like overly optimistic. I was just thinking we should get maximum points from these set of fixtures, and then you drop points away to Luton, and then you lose away to Toulouse, which, like Keith said, is mitigating factors, but at the end, it's not an absolute disaster. So before I saw the lineup today, I was thinking, I don't only want to see a result, I want to see a performance and sort of stick something together. And then when I saw the first 11 and the bench, all right, I said, now just get the fucking result here and we'll win the international break. That's the way I looked at it. Not that it was trepidation, it was just that, again, like, my words were, what's the story with the bench? Because, like, just overnight, Gravenberch, Kanate, Gomez, Jones still not available, and McAllister being suspended. The bench looked light as it was. So, thankfully, in the end, it wasn't to our detriment. And on top of the result, I actually think it was one of our better performances in this block of games, because without panic, they did have a few half chances in the first half. We more or less controlled the game from start to finish. So, look, going into the break, being a point behind City at the top is, I wouldn't even say it's par for the course. I think we're motoring nicely. I'm trying to curb my enthusiasm for this season, because although we've been really good, I still, as part of the game, if I look being hypercritical, I see as in patches in games where I know it doesn't look like a title challenging team to me. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that, like, in the 1920 year and the 2021 seasons, we were fucking imperious. Teams are afraid to even have a go at us. And we haven't got that about us yet, because Brentford have a go. There's teams coming now and having a go. And look, it's made it a little bit easier for us in terms of getting in behind and beating players. But just the difference between today and last weekend is that the big boys showed up. There was some big performances today from multiple players where I didn't feel like that last week, and that was the difference in the end, because there's some fucking really good football players in this team.
I've listed a few. I've listed a few that I want to talk to, because look, Matt Chris and Kev done the post match, like they always do. They done it just under an hour, and it was really good. So if you want every single kind of bit of the game looked at, go back and check that out. It's on YouTube, and it's available for download as well. So if you want to go and watch that, it's a cracking show. But I've listed a few of those, and I think I know what you're saying about people coming and having a go, and and some bits of the game, or some patches in the game, you look and go, we're a bit open here, we're a bit open there. I kind of point back, and I kind of point back to the midfield on that, because again, it's another kind of change midfield. Endo's put in there as the 6. You have what's his name, Gakpo in there as well with Szoboszlai. So it's, as much as you're trying to bet in the midfield, you'd like to bet in the midfield where a lot of them play together all the time, but it seems to be chopping and changing all the time, which isn't helping. But I kind of get what you're saying. We look a bit out of shape at times, but for me, the big thing, the overall thing for me was the work rate and the willingness to try win the ball back and win it in the right areas and look to win it at the right time. That's been missing. And I said it after Bournemouth, I said it after Luton, I said it after Toulouse. Going out and finding yourself in second gear and not being able to kick out of that gear, and then being caught in that gear where you can't, they just couldn't break away from it. And I think it was partly down to a bit of an arrogance from Liverpool across the board going into these games. But today, Brentford nearly feel like the perfect team to do that, because they will work hard. They're well drilled. They'll work hard. They're physical, and Waymo, Wissa up front, they have got players that'll run behind you. They're not afraid of you. Sort of way. And it was probably right. And like I said at half time, the happiest thing about I was at half time was the work rate and the intensity, and I had to give players huge credit. But let's go through a couple of the players, because they stood out for a big time for me today. Keith, Virgil van Dijk again, I thought was absolutely excellent. In everything he done, he was absolutely excellent. He actually wins that. I don't know if he wins the ball off them for the first goal, but it might be Matip actually. But I thought Van Dijk again, Keith, looked very, very, very good.
I thought he was excellent. I think he's quietly having an excellent season and looks to be back to, maybe not his best, but close enough to it. We remember when we brought Virgil in and that sort of, as Seany was alluding to, the 1920, 2021s and all this, when we were the finished article, he was untouchable as the best defender in world football. Like, it wasn't even close. And he gets the horrific injury, and we know it stop-start since then. But I don't know if it's the captaincy that he's after getting, is after giving him that sense of responsibility again, or it's just that he's just an excellent footballer who's getting back to the physical and mental state that he was in before, that's allowing him to do this. But he looks absolutely brilliant at the moment. I thought today he was excellent, because you touched on it there. Brentford are a good side because they're a physical side. They do all the sort of set pieces and the high balls into these big lumps. But Wissa and Mbeumo are excellent at getting in behind, and were today, by the way, as well. I thought they were really good, at the quick counters. The long balls were finding them and they were getting in. But I thought Van Dijk was marshalling it well. He was doing just shepherding them where he wanted to put them. He was directing their attacks where he wanted, and then was able to get the foot in and able to nip them out before they developed into anything. So I think there was that sort of aura about him today. His passing was outrageous. His diagonal passing was sensational.
He hit one with Mo in the first half.
I think we're seeing.
I don't think Virgil is the Rolls Royce anymore. I think he's a tank now. It looks like me. He's reinvented his game completely,
yeah,
and
which is fair enough.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just, when the one that always stands out to me was Wolves away, and the ball goes over the top, and he burns a damage right around it. He doesn't do that anymore. He's going through the back of strikers now. He's more of a brute.
He clattered into someone today, actually. He absolutely...
The amount of times you just see him pushing defenders, strikers to the ground now, and just, he's more physical. He's relying now on his physicality than he did, and I think it's a good thing. Like, him and Salah are the two big players in this team, and I feel they've quietly reinvented themselves in terms of, not that Virgil is not fucking like, he's not the Rolls Royce anymore, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He's a brute now. He's a brute, and he's mauling strikers, and he's winning
He
everything.
hit someone earlier,
And
he hit them like he went through them like a fucking, like you say, a tank. He went plowing through them. You know,
he's just, it's more, he's leaning into the physical side of the game now, where he had that technical thing where he would show a defender down the line and just take the ball off like take candy from a baby. He's not doing that anymore. I think he's way more aggressive, and it suits him, because there was times last year watching him, like, when you were thinking, why have you stopped? Why have you slowed down? These fellas aren't afraid of you anymore. These fellas aren't gonna fucking stand up and turn back. Strikers are running at him. But now when they're running at him, they're just bouncing off because he's there and he's making that move. He's been fucking unbelievable.
I think he's been. I think he's been great.
Yeah, to me, like I said it on Twitter last week. 70% Virgil is still better than 100% the centre backs in the league, and I stand by that. I really like Saliba, but I don't look. The numbers don't lie. They can talk whatever they want, but he's back on the top of his game in a different sense of the word, and it's great to see. Like, I was never of the idea that this fella was finished. I always felt it was far from it. He's tweaked his game now, and he seems to have it down. So long may that continue. And I'm not saying he's fucking stuffed either. Now he can still shift, but it's not the bleeding world-ending pace that he had previously.
I don't even know if the pace is gone. I think, you see, it used to be sometimes you get into a foot race, and like that one against Charlie was a joke. Like, Charlie pushes that 40 yards down the line, I think he's gone, he's away, and Virgil
done it down Mbappe as well,
and Virgil gets him with ease, you know, the sort of way. And I don't know if the pace is completely gone. I just think he was trying to cover too much ground when we weren't good. He was trying to cover across this way and get back this way and stuff like that. And I'm not saying he didn't have bad games. Like, people will go, oh no, you're just making an excuse for him. I'm not. He had bad games, Virgil van Dijk. But I always thought, as a defensive unit, I think he was trying to do too much. But one bit today stood out for me. Just one. And it wasn't the biggest thing in the world. I think we were 3-0 up at the time. It was right near the end, actually. And Mbeumo, I think, comes inside and he plays a nice kind of reverse pass through to, I can't remember who the Brentford player is. But in the last year or so, Virgil van Dijk, when this went through, he was the nearest man to him, and Virgil would usually stand off and go, make your decision, right? And we were kind of going, why isn't he fucking doing more?
Engaging.
Now, Virgil at his best used to say to it, I'll give you an angle to shoot because I backed this fella in the goal, right? But I'm going to cut off everything else. And in the past year, he'd give the angle, but he wouldn't cut stuff off because he wouldn't make the effort to get his body in the position for me. But today, your man comes across your man, and your man looks and sees Van Dijk, and Van Dijk goes, go on, if you want to hit it, because I backed this fella. And as soon as your man delays, Van Dijk went in, bang, hit him, and got a goal kick for it. And that was the moment for me, because one, he knows he backs his keeper. Two, he cuts off all the fella's options. But when the fella decides not to take the shot, I think a year ago, that person would have got another extra second to make another decision. They didn't. As soon as he fucking delayed, Virgil went in, hit it off, and got a goal kick. Got a bit of a rap on the ankle for it as well. And I just went, yeah, no, that's it. And I agree with you as well, Charlie. He's having to set a tone, because there was other players in this team that set a tone physically, and you know, the press and this, where he just was at the back going, I'll deal with it when it comes up. I'll deal with it with ease. But now he's having to set a tone, and his way of setting the tone now isn't. Sometimes it's raking passes, sometimes it's good tackles, but it's the physicality where other players in the team are going, you know what? Look at him. He's just playing through the back of him. You know what I mean? So he's making sure, he's literally setting the tone, going, this is how physical you have to be. I think he's been excellent.
I don't know whether it was my stream, but like whatever it was about the game today on the stream I was watching, you could hear everything from the players on the pitch. And he's literally playing left back for Simicast for him. You can hear them talking him through the whole thing. Put him on his right. You can hear him the whole time. Cross right foot, let him cross with the right foot, push him onto the right foot. And it's out, like, that's always been there, obviously, because he's led the Dutch, and you can hear Ali as well at the end with the wall to Mo. screaming the fucking head off Mo. I don't know whether anyone else could hear it, but
Yeah, he's screaming at
and I love little things
he's
like
screaming
that.
at Diaz as well, and he's screaming at Kwanzaa. Last kick of the game.
I'd imagine that. Look, Virgil strikes me as the type of bloke who fucking knows how good he is, and like people said, the aura, and there's no doubt in my mind that would have been self-doubt in the back of his head last year when the likes of Wang and all were chopping him up and things were happening to him. He was probably thinking, right, what am I going to do? And then he come out at the end of the season in an interview, and he just said, look, it's not been good enough, and we can all go up levels, and I know for a fact I can, and I'm going to work on it. And we've seen sort of a reinvention of his game now that's put him back right in the upper echelons of those playing in his position. And they can fucking talk as they want. People will continue to downplay just how good he is. But you hear Ben Foster saying a couple of weeks ago, the prime Virgil van Dijk is the best centre-back to ever play the game. And I believe that. And I just, you're saying now there's just so much more in the tank with this new version. He doesn't need to be. And if you have someone like Kwanzaa and Kanate in there behind him, let them be the legs and he can be the brain. And that's exactly what we have now. And despite going down fucking to 10 men, 9 men in over 2 or 3 games, and it's a bit of a shaky start in terms of what was going on. We've the best defence in the league statistically coming into that international break. So something's working. And Talkin Kop, listen, I'm due a shave tomorrow. So unless you have a fucking mustache, don't be judging me.
Keith, I'm going to go into the goal scorers in a minute. I'm going to leave one goal scorer in particular to last. But Darwin Nunez's performance today was everything I wanted in a number 9's performance. Genuinely. It's everything I wanted. He ran his fucking legs off. I was actually thinking, get me the stats on how much that fella's ran in the first half, because he's probably ran as much as some players run in a full game of football. He has 2 chalked off for offside, but he's in the positions. He's a brilliant assist for the first goal. I just thought he was fantastic, Keith. And all it was short of was a goal. But it really kind of fills me with confidence do you know what it fills me with confidence for? If I'm going away to City, I have no issue putting him up front with that work rate. And the space he finds and the amount of running he does and pulling assists out like that. I just thought it was a great performance after what was a mixed day, I'd say, against Luton last week.
I probably think it's his best performance for Liverpool, and he doesn't score a goal. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Look, I'm not the best person to talk. I love Darwin, and I sort of defend him all the time. So, me saying I think it was his best performance, I just thought he done everything. He pressed from the front. His pressing was fucking brilliant today. His hold-up play was brilliant. He spins on the ball. He's turning centre-backs and starting attacks. I thought he was sensational today. The one where the ball breaks, it goes over to the side. I don't know if it's Nathan Collins or whoever, and he fucking smashes him. And he's into the crowd and he's geeing up the crowd and all that. And I just love that about Nunez. But I just thought today he was brilliant. Obviously, the 2 goals. The second one, he's a fucking mile offside. He gets back in, gets the volley. But I thought he was a threat all day. I thought he was dangerous. He's very clever. It's not the chaos that he's associated with, where you're just going in and throwing a blatant grenade in and hoping for the best. I thought he was intelligent. I thought he was measured in what he was doing. He is so fast. The one, Tsimikas plays one down the line and he tries to just mill one in left foot and it hits off Collins and the keeper has to make a save. Like, he's not delaying things. He's making things happen quick. I think he's brilliant. I think today, as I said, he doesn't get on the score sheet today, but I think it's his best performance. I think it's the performance Klopp will be raving about for him as well. Because last season we heard all the, Nunez, you have to press. If you're not going to press, you're not going to get minutes. And I think we're starting to see a player now who understands that and who understands the expectation that Jurgen Klopp puts on the centre forwards. Because look, we had Roberto Firmino as the main number 9 for Liverpool, and there's no better gegenpress or counter press or whatever you want to call it in the world than what Firmino was for Liverpool. And to go from that and you're going into something totally new, you're going into a 6'2" striker or whatever he is, 6'3". He's a unicorn really, Nunez, in that he's the size and the pace and he's got everything, but his work rate is starting to match that. And I just think we're seeing a player now who's on the cusp of being really good. Now, look, last week against Luton, we were critical of him because he missed fucking sitters. But I thought he was okay in the sense that, you know, he was still a threat all the time. He makes a lot of stuff happen. He's not a forward that's not involved in the game. And look, I know Erling Haaland's a fucking phenomenon, but he gets very few touches. Nunez is always involved and he makes a lot of his own shit himself. You know, he's not relying on other players. He does tend to do a lot of stuff himself, and he's involved in goals for Salah. He's involved in goals for everyone. I think he's absolutely brilliant at the moment, and I thought today again his best performance for us.
Yeah, I think, you know, you go back to that stuff about Klopp openly saying, you know, he needs to learn how to press and he needs to learn how to walk this off the ball more. And I think one kind of tumbles onto the other, because when you start walking out what way does Liverpool team press and where you should be and when you should go and when you shouldn't, it knocks on then to when I get the ball, where are they going to be? You know, the sort of way all these things fall into place. Because 1 minute you can be back to go with the ball, the next week could have lost it, and then you're going, do I go, do I not, do I press, do I not? And because he's learning all this, I think it's adding to all of his game. I thought he was absolutely brilliant today. I'd probably give him man of the match today, to be quite honest with you. Another striker, Seany, in Diogo Jota. He seems to just go under the radar in games and throughout seasons for me. But he just quietly does his fucking job. He works so hard for us. He walks back. He's aggressive. He's not afraid to get into a scrap. He draws free kicks, and he gets another goal today. Again, just the options there are great. You know, you're dying to see Diaz on the pitch, left hand side, but Jota's there, and we're at 2-0 and we're grand, but he just makes it 3 and that's it. There's no worry, because we know with 5 minutes, 6 minutes to go, wherever it might be, there's another 6 on top of that, and if Brentford get a goal, what'll happen? But I thought again today, Seany, Jota he does everything you want in a left-sided attacker. He genuinely does. He does everything, whether it's going forward, going back, getting involved, scoring goals. He just does it all.
Nah, he's a weird player, Jota. It's just, like you said, it's not going under the radar, but like, it's 15 goals a season, just like that. And when he scored earlier, I was thinking to myself, like, Jota starts for every team in the Premier League bar City. I think every team in the Premier League starts Jota in that front three.
Yeah.
I think he gets games for. I think he plays for Arsenal.
Plays for the men for Arsenal.
Jesus. He played for Chelsea, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Spurs starts in their front line with me, ahead of Richarlison or whatever. He's a fucking brilliant player. He does work his bollocks off, and I think the only thing that kind of has hampered Jota in his Liverpool career is he's gotten a few mad freak injuries that have kept him out for time, and he's always in and out of the team, and he didn't get the. But now you're kind of seeing the fruits of just having him around. Like, if Jota ever starts for Liverpool, I don't mind. That's the type of player he is, and you can play him off the left, you can play him through the middle, and I'm sure he'd even do a job off the right.
Yeah, he's played on the right. Yeah,
best finisher at the club. I think he's the best finisher.
So do I.
Yeah,
I think he's an even better finisher than Mo.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Jota's a class player, and I think if you have Jota playing like 75 to 80% of the season, you're comfortably in the top 4 because he's going to be nicking goals here and there, and then he's a real game changer in terms of tight games away from home in Europe, which we'll see in the back. He's exactly the type of player that you want, the clinical player. Doesn't have not the flashiest player and everything he does, but he's just.
I think he's really economical in what he does.
He just sniffs opportunity and seems to always make do with it. Like he scores the goal against Toulouse, he scores at home. He does it again the other night, and it's not coincidence. It's that instinct. he was fucking brilliant. And just to give Nunez his flowers as well, like that, like antithesis performance where Nunez does absolutely everything, and you see him all over the pitch today. I agree with Keith. His best performance in a red shirt for me, and he didn't score. And the one worry I probably had about Darwin Nunez is this fella going to be the type of player that if he doesn't get you a goal, he's giving you fuck all else. Yeah. That was one worry that I definitely had from, and I was thinking that's not going to be the type of player that I cut over Klopp. But you only have to look at Klopp's embrace at the end of the game with him today. That was him turning around and go, you've arrived here now. And bits where he was leaving the ball behind him last year and running into defenders and with his head down, that seems to be all gone out of his game. He's playing with supreme confidence, a smile on his face, and he was unlucky not to get 2 goals today. But yeah, still a little bit of madness in there because literally, nobody pointed it out. The set and the pass for Mount is unbelievable. He does the exact same thing against Brighton. But the ball breaks on her next counter-attack after that. And I think it's Jota's going down the left wing. And he tries to play a pass. And he ends up on his face looking around. And the ball goes out off the fullback. And I'm just thinking, this fella is a fucking mad cunt. I say Klopp's looking at him going, what the fuck have we got here? Because it's
I don't mind if that happens. Like where he does 8 good things and 2 mad things.
It's mad. It's like Luis Garcia used to be similar. He used to do mad stuff. He used to volley in,
and then he'd do your fucking head in for 85 minutes. Yeah,
a fucking bag of cement like on another day. Like, you know what I mean? But look, Darwin is still so young with the tools he has. Like, he can literally be anything he wants, and I'm not parroting what Klopp said there. I think it's just the truth. I think when you have that athleticism, that pace, that frame in this team, like he could literally be on. But yeah, and as well, an honourable mention to Cody Gakpo, who I fucking love to death. I love players like Gakpo to bits because they're so intelligent that you just think that they're bang average when they just make everything that they do look really, really easy. And I thought he was deadly today.
He was brilliant.
So yeah,
he's doing more. Isn't he doing more of a job for us this season, Gakpo? Because like Gakpo came in and people like God love him. I felt so sorry for him when he came in because it was a wretched Liverpool were at the time. But he grows into this where people are going, you know what? He could be Firmino's replacement because he's not the quickest. He's not slow, but he's not electric. But he's strong. He can hold the ball. He loves getting the ball in the half turn. He can see a pass. He can do all sort of stuff. And you're thinking, yeah, bet him into that. And then you see him going into midfield today. And he just plays that. Like, does Cody Gakpo play an awful lot of football as an 8? I don't think he has. I always thought Cody Gakpo at PSV as like a bleeding winger. Do you know what I mean?
He's at the World Cup.
Yeah, he played a lot in the World Cup.
Yeah, but that's probably but like not a lot of Liverpool, and he's just come in there and went, yeah, I'll just play there. It's grand, like, you know what I mean?
So like the game away to Real Madrid last year, he was our best player on the pitch, and he was in the 8.
Yeah,
look, he can definitely do it. And I'm sure if you asked Cody Gakpo on his own, does he want to do it? He'd probably say no, but it doesn't show in his performances. He was fucking deadly today.
Yeah, he was really
brilliant.
good.
He was better in the game today than I thought Szoboszlai was. Szoboszlai's been poor the last couple of games, but like,
yeah, I think he's been.
That's allowed.
Yeah, I think poor. Maybe I think he's been a lot more reserved.
I think his work rate's been okay, but his stuff with the ball hasn't been great. Whereas I thought Gakpo was brilliant with the ball today. Whenever he got it, he was out with tight situations and getting us forward. I thought he was brilliant.
Szoboszlai tried to hit a pass late in the game, and if it had come off, it was the pass of the century. It drops on the edge of our box, and he just takes one look and he hits this thing side. You know, like the goalkeeper's kick aside, and he whacked this thing, and it flew through the air. And I thought, if this goes over the defender's head, it's the best pass I've fucking ever seen. But look, it's allowed. He's played 15, 16 games for Liverpool. I think he's been brilliant in probably 12 of that 16. You know what I mean? And again, we're having different players around different players. And I think he's taken more of a responsibility to be more reserved and protect us a little bit more. Whereas at the start, he was like, give me that. I'm fucking plowing through midfield with it. And that'll come back. that'll come back as other players come in and stuff like that. And
I mean,
it's allowed.
traditionally, when a new player comes into Liverpool, Klopp doesn't throw them in the deep end. Now, he hasn't had a choice this season with the midfield. So McAllister and Szoboszlai have been playing, constant. So we're seeing, I think in an ideal world, maybe Klopp would have taken him out and playing others. He doesn't have the options at the moment, but I think it's exciting what we're seeing with these guys, because Szoboszlai his work rate, I think, is phenomenal in the sense that I didn't expect it to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd watched him before, and I always thought of him after watching him as, he's a skillful player. He's a rocket of a shot. This is the type of player he is. The running that he does, he's a fucking running machine, this fella. And even if he's not able to influence the game with the ball, I think he's still putting in a shift off the ball, which is important for him.
He comes off today for young McConnell, I think it was, and he's never walking out the pitch where you go, he didn't put it in today. He didn't walk today. And that's what you want. I'd rather a player come out when he walked his bollocks off, didn't influence it an awful lot the way he has in previous games, but he didn't know. It's not like he didn't walk, and that's all right by me. Just on Jota though, Brian O'Halloran said he's underrated. Brian reckons he has 48 goals in 125 games with Liverpool, better than 1 in 3, a great finisher. So that's a nice one on Jota to finish. A couple of things, right? The VAR check on the Endo tackle that went on forever. They're still looking at it now, and a few people have mentioned Paul Tierney. Paul Tierney is a smarmy little prick, isn't he? He went around at Anfield today, and he just fucking little grins out of him and stuff like that.
He was doing that. He was looking through people when he wasn't. You could see he wasn't making eye contact with any of the players or not, and it's just kind of like similar experience, like in football or playing football, when obviously the reps are there to fucking keep everything in check, but the little power trip, you could see him smirking and laughing and looking through players when they were over trying to discuss things with him, and that boils my piss more than anything. I was looking at
I think that comes across from him that he just doesn't like them. So he's looking through them and he's kind of looking away and kind of half laughing. I'm only mentioning it because a few people in the chat went that Tierney is a fucking smarmy prick, and I agree. But
he is a prick.
The VAR check on Endo went on for fucking ever, and I was like, nothing wrong with this.
They were looking for something. They were looking to find anything.
In fairness to Tierney, like I think Tierney's hung by the VAR team there today, because he's 5 yards away from that and he doesn't give it, and he sees it.
Yeah,
because you can see him going. So, this is my fucking problem with it, Gavin. I know you're doing shows up the wazoo about this shit. Like, honestly, I know it. But my issue since the whole Diaz thing is, like, they're so fucking terrified now of getting anything wrong that it's just every single decision that might be 50-50 is being forensically analysed. And you can say whatever you want about VAR since it's come into the game. One thing that was people said that was going to happen that never happened for me was that I never really felt that it was disturbing the flow of games. I always felt the decisions were being made quick enough, but I don't even see that as being the case anymore. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous now. It's becoming tough to watch. It's becoming really difficult to watch for me because it's killing the flow of games. Like what? My question to whoever was in VAR: what the fuck did he want to end up doing?
But that's the thing. When you look at the tackle,
it's like in a racing game when you're going the car in front is going too slow. To stop a collision that turns into a ghost so you can pass through it. What's he supposed to do? He tackles. He gets the ball. Where's he supposed to put
both of them go in. Both of them win the ball together. They collide. There's nothing in it. It's fine.
It's fucking.
And in fairness to Tierney, he doesn't blow the whistle. It's all of a sudden the VAR are checking it. Do you know what I mean? And VAR should be only checking for a clear and obvious issue anyway. Do you know what I mean? But it's not now. It's like we're going to check everything.
Picture.
Yeah,
he's 5 yards away looking at it. So what do they think he hasn't seen? What do they think he's missed?
Exactly. And this clear and obvious stuff, that's gone now. They'll continue to use it, but it's gone. It's basically, we're going to, like Seany said, we're going to forensically analyse everything and just keep coming back to you and telling you about it. Because we, like Seany is bang on, they're absolutely fucking terrified of getting something wrong, or the, you know, the good process that they like to fucking spout on about falls down some way. But I thought it was mad. But once, there was a serious bit, but it was quite funny at the same time, was the Matip yellow card. Now, he books a Brentford player earlier, and he gives him a yellow, and then he books Matip. Your man kicks the ball, jumps into Matip, hits Matip in the leg, right? And he books him. But in fairness, it's one of the moments of the season for me, because, and someone said to us on Twitter, first of all, what the fuck is the story with the bandage on Matip's knee? He looks like he come off his bike and his ma put a plaster on before he went out to play, which I thought was fucking brilliant. But Matip's reaction, Keith, is just fucking sensational.
He's a gas cunt, isn't he? Isn't he? He's fucking deadly. And I'd say that's the big part of why. I'd say Klopp would keep him. He'd extend him if he could. I think that's why he loves these fellas. It's what they do off the pitch. It's their influence in the changing room and all that. And Matip, whenever you see any of the behind the scenes stuff, they love Matip. Everyone loves Matip. He's an absolute character, and you see it on the pitch when he's doing things like that. Now, look, I thought that was a disgrace. I don't even think it was a foul. Never mind the fucking yellow card. And people are saying, well, maybe it was for his reaction. But his reaction didn't do anything to warrant the yellow. He just, like, what are you on about? This isn't a yellow card. Never mind. It's not even a foul. Never mind the yellow card. But his reaction is gas. He does it all the time. Like, he's got his own page.
Yeah, I was sure he was getting sent off today because he was like a madman in the second half.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was a little bit fucking ropey, wasn't it?
He milled someone in the second half, and Tierney's looking at him, and the play goes on, and I'm convinced Tierney's going back to book him, give him a second yellow, because he creamed someone. And the play goes on, and Tierney's he's running, but he's looking back at him, and I'm like, this prick is going to go back and book Matip for this. And it was a nothing challenge, you know what I mean? It was just a tough challenge on him, because I was the same. I thought he was on a tightrope. I'm like, this fucker.
He definitely was. As far as I can say, once you're on the yellow in the Premier League, it doesn't even take much for you to be sent off now, because Seany just said, they're fucking analysing everything. But do you know what Matip is? Matip to me is the sort of fella that if he goes down to the shop with his kids and the kid throws a freaker in the fucking in the biscuit oil, Matip's the sort of cunt that lie down beside him and take a freaker with him just to embarrass the child. That's what he is to me, Matip. It was incredible. Like, but
I thought he was excellent today, Matip. I thought his carrying of the ball was vintage Matip. I don't think there's many defenders. In fact, I'd say there's no centre back as good as him at getting the ball and just driving. Doesn't do it when he gets into these positions. Do you know what I mean?
But once he commits a midfielder or two, he's fine.
Yeah, but he always does.
You play
it.
You're good.
He's an excellent player. Matip's excellent.
Chris Brack says the massive block by Matip just before our second goal was a key moment in the game. Correct. It was.
Before we move off, I thought Endo was excellent today as well. I know we spoke about the incident that the card. I thought he was very good. I thought his passing was good. I thought he got the ball. I thought right was, and look, I'm a huge Alexis McAllister fan, and I don't think McAllister's been as bad in that number 6 as people maybe think. I think he's been poor with the ball, McAllister, more so than off the ball. I thought Endo was good today. I thought he was in winning tackles. I thought he was passing. He's using the ball well. I thought he was good there. Seany disagrees.
Go on, I'll let you go.
Yeah, he's a clever player, and he's neat and tidy, but he's just too slow.
For that position, I don't know.
And he got away with more that today in terms of if you turn him, he's fouling you. Like, he should have been booked at some stage, and I suppose it's not a bad thing. But like, look again, at home to Brentford, you can probably start Endo, but he starts away at Man City. Good night, God bless. Tell you that now for free.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. You know, I think he grows into the game. I would agree with that. I think he misses quite a few tackles, but I think when I say he grows into the game, I think he makes himself more and more available as the game goes on, and he actually gets a really good header at the back post. Second half, it looks like Mopay might be in, but he gets a good header on it. But it's like when we go down the Trent Alexander-Arnold's, or not, the Robertson Simicast route. You know, Simicast gets 2 assists today, but overall I thought he was quite poor, especially the first half. But you're still comparing him to Andy Robertson, a lot of people. And with Endo, you know, do you go in with someone like him, or do you go in with someone like fucking? Do you go in back with McAllister? What do you do? People have their arguments over either way. But I do think, even with Endo in the squad, I'm not saying you get rid of him, but even with Endo in the squad, I'd still like Liverpool to go and sign another defensive midfielder. I think that's fair. And I think with Bajcetic being nursed back very slowly from wherever is wrong with him, I think the time I think, I'm not saying Liverpool can compete. I just think if we were to go and do something in that defensive midfielder where you bring a fella in and he's a bit all action and he's a bit, you know, maybe Andre is the one, I don't know, but somebody that comes in and you go, you know what, strong, physical, quick, you know, and that they're not easy to find, but I think Liverpool should still be looking at someone like that.
I don't think we're looking at a 6-6. I think Klopp would rather have someone that can do a bit of everything. So Andre, for example, if the links are to be believed that we're still interested in him, he's not a destroyer. He's good at getting the ball. We spoke about it after the Libertadores final. He nips in, he gets all the little touches and starts the attacks. It's what McAllister's decent at as well. And I think that's the type of player they're looking at. I think they'd love to have a couple like that can sit in there and do all that graft and then release the others. So, yeah, I don't know if Endo is the answer, but maybe it's Bajcetic and Endo's just a short-term sort of placeholder there until he gets back.
Maybe so. Couple of super chats. Ravinder Singh says, best show out there, especially when we win. How good was Cole Palmer today? Is the title back on? Stay blessed, brothers. How good was Cole Palmer? Really good.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah, really good. Thanks for telling us it was a good show. Is the title back on? I've put it on Twitter. I've laid down my marker. I think there's a title there to be won. I'm sticking by it. I don't give a fuck what people think. Cantors with a super chat says, Quanta came on late today. He looks a serious player. Before the season's over, I think he could force his way into the team. And dare I say, a right back, I'm not too sure on the right back thing, Cantors, but centre back forces his way into the team. Look, he hasn't put a foot wrong for me. In when he's played for Liverpool, he hasn't looked out of his depth, and I have not come away from a Liverpool game going, Jesus, we lost that, and Quansah looked like a liability. Far from it. I think he's been close enough to pitch perfect when he's played for Liverpool this season. Mo Salah. We've spoken so much about this fella, and he'll deserve to be spoken about for years and years to come. When he finishes up at Liverpool, hopefully that's not for a while yet. But 200 goals for Liverpool after today. Seany, come on, I'll go to you first. Thomas Frank gives him massive praise after the game. He says he's possibly the best player in the Premier League. He's probably in the top 3 in the world.
Ever. He said he's probably one of the best Premier League players.
And he feels he's probably the top one in the top 3 players in the world right now. The output is just scandalous, Seany. And without us going into a half an hour on Mo Salah, because I'm sure we could do 2 hours on him, the output is ridiculous. I think it's 16 home games in a row where he's contributed a goal or an assist. 200 goals from, don't get me wrong, a player that they look to get in front of goal a hell of a lot, but primarily is a wide right player, you know. I just can't for the life of me understand why Mo Salah or Liverpool aren't putting a deal together to put another 2 years on top of this and let him just go for every record he fucking can.
Well, I think it's going to come down to what he wants, Gav. I'd imagine that Klopp and whoever's building the team are probably comfortable with Mo going in the summer, but they'd be more than happy to hang on to him in terms of I'd imagine it's going to come down to him. I'd imagine they will ask him, what does he want to do? And I reckon he'll want to stay.
Sorry, just a correction. It's 200 Premier League goals.
Premier League goals, yeah.
198, of course. He's 198
goals. Yeah, it's not far away from getting 200.
Yeah. Again, I liken it to the Virgil. He seems to be changing his game. Mo's getting closer to the goal, and I've no issue with that. The goal today is just vintage Mo. Rolling into his path. One touch, 2 touch max if needed, and he'll just roll in the corner. And that's why he does. And he gets a header as well at the back post today, which he's not got many of them. But
it helped that everyone stopped and stood still. That helped him.
Yeah, but he didn't. And
and that's the important thing. Yeah,
and that's like what do you like? the amount of times this fella has just showed up and balled out at Liverpool and got goals and man of the match performances. I don't think he's had many man of the match performances this season, but he hasn't had them because the output is there, the killer touch is there, the killer instinct is there, and that'll never leave him. He's still such a fucking dangerous player. I won't lie to you, there was a time today when the ball bounced in the halfway line and he tried to push it around your man. I think it might have been Janssen. And you can think, the blistering pace is not there anymore. 3 years ago, Mo was fucking burning him. But not to the detriment of this game. He still has the yards in his head. And he was round his foot over the ball on the last 10 minutes, enjoying himself, taking the piss out there, fullback. Still top 3 attacker in the world. I would send the email to the Saudis in January and I'd be saying, look, don't even fucking bother coming near of us if it's not $250 million, because we don't want to know. I'm telling you that now. And if he even tries to push his way out, we'll just hold on to him and let him go for free. We signed him at 36 million. We've nothing to lose here. We've absolutely nothing to lose here. If you want them in the summer, we want 250 million up front. That's the end of it. No structure. We know you have the money. Otherwise, don't bother. That's the way I'd look at it. Because you're going to be replacing Mo in the aggregate if you do replace him. It's going to be 2 or 3 players. You're probably going to be propping up your centre-halves to same way when we saw Coutinho and you replace him with a Van Dijk and a Alisson. Like, honest to God, he's a sicko. Like, the numbers are off the charts. You can't argue with Thomas Frank. We'd murder on this podcast last year when people are digging him out and the club was still banging in goals. Yeah. He's a joke. He's an absolute joke.
He's one more goal needed to draw level with Owen with Michael Owen for 150 Premier League goals and 10th place in all-time Premier League scorers.
And how many games less?
Yeah, that's always the key, isn't it?
Again, it's the fucking only Mo Salah thing. I dread the day he goes, Gav, but at the same time, that might be the fucking day this fella gets his flowers, because he's up there with the Henrys of the league. I don't care if he's only got one fucking title. He's been cheated out of 2 or 3 others. That's just a fact. That's the lay of the law with the fucking how it's worked out with them. What fucking shit.
Yeah. He's 200 goals in English football, 109 games for Liverpool, and 2 for Chelsea.
Footballer.
Keith, what more do you say about him? Like, the only thing I've known, like Seany said, like that blistering pace that you see in 2017, 18, 19, it's probably slowing down a bit, and that's fair because he's a lot of fucking miles in his legs.
Yeah.
And no matter how good he looks when he fucking takes the top off and how hard he works, your body just can't go at that tempo. It's just, you can't. Do you know what I mean? But his game is changing. I think he's becoming more of a playmaker sort of player from wide. Still has plenty of pace. Like, he'll run with the fucking best of them. But I think the link up is becoming huge for him now. Whereas used to just go, I just burned this fella and I'll bleed and score. The link up, and I think the couple have mentioned Darwin. Because he's linking with Darwin is really nice to watch at times. But like, the goals are brilliant. 120 less games than Michael Owen, apparently. Says Passio. I don't know how true that is. But when I'm watching this, Keith, all I can think, and the goals are great, the results are great. All I can think is our contract in 2025. And someone said a couple of weeks ago, when you get rid of Thiago, just take the most of his money and give it to fucking Salah and say, listen, just sign till 2027. You'll be 34, 35. Happy fucking days. And if anyone wants you at that stage, you're free to fucking go. And at 35, you could still go off anywhere to America and earn a bleeding bomb, or off to Saudi or whatever it might be. But that's all I can see when I'm watching him. How do you keep this fella beyond that contract? How do you not make him? Maybe he wants to, but if anyone is out there thinking, look, no, let him go, he'll be 33, I'm arguing it till the fucking death, Keith.
I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to extend. I understand, right, that he's the biggest star in the Arab world, and the hunger for Saudi Arabia to get him into their league will be off the scale. And I think Seany's right. I'll be putting fucking blockers on it all over the place. This is the fee in one lump sum up front. Then we'll talk. And it'll be down to Mo if he wants to go. I don't think he wants to go. I think he's looking at the likes of Henderson and all and Seany playing in front of about 85 people. More people have played in Phoenix Park looking at football than there is over there. And he's like, well,
unless Ronaldo's playing.
Yeah,
he's the one drawing the crowd.
And look, we know Salah will draw the crowd. We know that. It'd be fucking through the roof. But the football, the standard is not there. Do you know what I mean? The quality isn't there. He's not, he's not going to win anything. Like, what the fuck is he going to win over there? He's going to win the Saudi League, probably. Who gives a shit? He's not going to win a Ballon d'Or by playing in that. And anyway, you can rule that out for a start. He's not going to win, a prestigious tournament, the Asian Champions League. No, I'm not having that. He's not going to win an international tournament, obviously, because he plays for Egypt, and other than the AFCON. So, he's won the AFCON. It's a big tournament, but it's not the World Cup, and he's not going to win that, unfortunately, for him. So the only way he wins the big pots now is by staying in Europe, and I think that's with Liverpool, and I think he'll extend. But if he was to be sold, it's a big job to replace him, but I think if you get that big money, everything comes to an end, right? Everything has to come to an end. And I think we'll see the natural sort of not fizzling out of Mo Salah. I don't think he can keep up this output for 4 more years. Right? I don't think he can. Maybe he'll surprise me and he changes game, but I don't think he have. But I think he'll have 2 years of this top level stuff, and then a year, and he'd be sort of on the downward spiral at that stage. I'd look to extend them, and I'd look to extend them on the thing that, look, it's your choice, Mo. You can decide if you want to go. You go with our blessing. As Seany said, we paid 30-odd million for him. He's paid that. He owes us nothing. He's paid that back in fucking spades. So if he wanted to go, I'd say I wouldn't stand in his way, but I'd try and get him to an extension, another 2-year extension if he could, and then I'd let him decide at that stage when he's 35 or something at that point. So,
because I think right now, if you're having an argument over the best players ever in the Premier League, or indeed Liverpool's best ever players, he's right up there. I don't know where you want to place him, but I think if he continues to do what he's doing with that, and if he has 80%, 70% of the output he has up to now in the next 2 or 3 seasons, you're genuinely putting him in a conversation to be Liverpool's best ever player. You are like, and people will go like, oh, Gerrard and Dalglish were fucking phenomenal players, but so is Mo Salah. So is Mo Salah, and people go on about, oh, that's recency bias. It's not. It's just not. When you see the numbers he's putting in, the performance he's putting in, what he's won, he's right up there, and I mean right up there. He's a joke of a footballer, and I'd love him to stay, and I'd love him to go rack up the goals and take as many fucking records he possibly can. And then if he wants to go after the sunset for nothing, absolutely fine. But if someone wants him while he's in contract, you pay, and you pay massive. But 2 more goals today, 2 more goals to make 200 goals for Liverpool.
He loves that outside of the foot pass, doesn't he? Now that's his move. And when you have a Darwin that can get in on the back of it, he tries one today. Darwin, it gets cut out before it goes one. But that's where the evolution is coming in his game. He's not constantly just looking to get down the line, cut in on the left, and have that fucking shot that goes in 1 in 10. Yeah. He's now looking to create and be the provider, and I think he enjoys it, and I think he's enjoying not the leadership role that he has, but the fact that a lot of leaders have moved on, and he is now, maybe a bit more in is he on the leadership group? He is, isn't he? He wasn't, but I think he is now, and I think he's relishing it. I think he stays on.
With a bit of luck. Patrick Franley asking me to talk about Alisson at some point. Best in the world, great save today in that 1-on-1. But overall, he was rock solid for me. And I think we will be talking about Alisson Becker throughout the week on 1 or 2 of the shows we're doing. Lads, before we get on to sausage of the week and everything else, just a quick mention, because we're 1 point off City going into this international break. Just quickly on you, Seany, you'd have taken that at the start of the season, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. I think it kind of bit of going into the bit of the unknown this year with the big changes in the midfield. But yeah, I think so far so good. No complaints. I think it's been a more than acceptable start to the season. Hopefully we get a few bodies back now after the international break and we kick on. A few tough games now up to Christmas, but at the same time, like it's not like last year when fucking teams would have been licking their lips playing Liverpool. Like,
Yeah.
what a tough team to play against again. I know midweek didn't really show that, but the Europa League can be like that. But yeah, I just wish we weren't playing every Sunday. It's fucking bugging the life out.
I know, yeah. But that will go away for a while once the Europa League is done.
Look, what is it, 12 games in now? 11, 12 games in?
12. We're just close on a third of the way in.
12 games in, a point off City, level with Arsenal, and we went ahead of the Premier League winners of September and October as well today. So, fucking, it's brilliant gear altogether.
Yeah. Keith, happy enough?
Delighted, yeah. I mean, you know, everything Seany said, I echo that. You know, we went in, we'd a rebuild to do. We didn't know what to expect, and the lads have gone out. It hasn't been perfect by all, you know, by any stretch of the imagination. But I think we're seeing a team that's, well, I know Seany said recently, and sort of he said earlier as well, that he doesn't feel like we're at the stage where we can really challenge for the league, maybe. I think we're in that really exciting phase of just before that, you know, where the team is developing. We're not. I think we can challenge this season because I'm not impressed with Man City. They'll get De Bruyne back and they'll be a better team, obviously. But I think I agree. I think if City go on a run, we'll go toe for toe more, better than Arsenal, and we'll challenge more than they will. But ultimately, we might come up short this year. But I see the development in where we want to be, and it reminds me of a few years ago before we got back to the top again. So exciting. Didn't expect it to be like this. I didn't expect to be going into this international break. As you say, a third of the season in and 1 point off City, and you know, level with the two North London clubs. Can't ask for more. We really can't ask for more than that. I know we could say we could ask for more points and be ahead of them, and we could have got more points in games, but I think we've been good under the circumstances. I think we've been really good. Considering that if we think back to the negativity of the transfer window this summer, like everyone was losing their shit. You know what I mean? And Kwanzaa, we spoke about this all the time. You know, was it a political point he was making by playing him? No, Klopp likes this kid. He's playing him. He's finding these players. I think Klopp relishes, and it's one thing as well. I think he has that bit of hunger about him again, Klopp. I think he relishes the build of these teams. I've said it before on shows. He's never rebuilt. He's done 7 years at Dortmund. They go stale. He's gone. I think he's relishing this rebuild again, and I think we're on the cusp of something. Whether it's this year, possibly not, but certainly we're going to be back, and we're going to be the main challengers in the future.
I think there's a league to be won. I'm going to stick to it because Guardiola is talking about us against us and Dico, which is good to see. You know what that means. Megan says we're the last team City want chasing them, which I think is a fair point. I think if I'm Jurgen Klopp today after that game, I'm saying well done, and I'm pointing back to Luton and going that doesn't happen again. And I think the biggest plus for Liverpool will be if you go to City in 2 weeks' time and draw the game and remain a point behind them, right? And then it's a case of, right, we have them at Anfield later in the season and there's 20 odd games left or whatever. I think Liverpool, if they can, I think it could be a case of Liverpool riding a bit of a crest of a wave. And you know what happens when Liverpool ride a crest of a wave? Things go mad. And Liverpool end up just fucking going berserk and going and beating teams. And that's where our intensity comes from, because we know we're in a race. And I think Liverpool, maybe not publicly, but behind the scenes, we're saying, look, we've done a lot in the summer. We've revamped a lot. Let's be competitive. Let's get back in that top four that we missed out on. But if you get in a couple more games down the road here and you're 1 point behind or you're level, and Liverpool are going, we're halfway in here and we're level and we're finding our feet, I think they get a little bit of get on the crest of the wave, and I think anything can happen. And listen, you can only go off the evidence of what you're seeing. Of the evidence you've seen, Liverpool have 27 points and Man City have 28. Right? For as brilliant City are, and Arsenal have 27, and Arsenal will be talked up massively, but we're there as well, and we've won course and distance, the sort of way. So
We've still a lot of players with that muscle memory as well.
Yeah,
that know
and there's
how to
players
do
that
this.
come back, and we've been missing a few, and everyone misses a few. Like, it's not like only Liverpool are the only team missing players, but just from a Liverpool point of view, the players coming back there, and not only coming back, but looking, going, hold on, well, I was out to fucking 1 games. So everyone wants to get back in that team. So I'm all aboard the choo-choo train for the league, going for the league. No problem. And if we fail, we fail. Let's have a good fucking time doing it.
Come here, look, Gav. Say this. That's the case. Just fucking enjoy it.
Yeah.
How shy you are. Like, if last year it didn't turn around and make you say to yourself, my God, what was I giving out about when we were winning every other week? Like, if you can't enjoy, just enjoy it. Don't worry about title race. The way I say it is, the longer we stay in City slipstream, come April, May, you're already in the top 4 and you're rolling the dice. And you're like, we could have even played in the cup final by then, the Carabao. So we've a home tie the way I played to go and play a semi-final. And like fucking a potential Europa League final in Dublin. Like, so I don't doubt that come April, May that this team will be fucking in the hat looking to add pots. But just stay in City slipstream. Like, I think everyone would agree that the objective this year was to get back in the Champions League and then again be clever with your recruitment in the summer and go again. And I don't see why we can't do that.
Yeah. Right. We're going to go on to our last 2 bits in a minute. But couple of things. The Movember, the link is in the description if you want to donate. We're flying along now. Link is, like I said, link is in the description. Click on it, put whatever you can into it. Every single quid, euro, whatever helps for men's mental health, etc. Me and Seany are doing it for the cause. We're doing great. I think we're the best boys. So if you can, click the link, donate in. As a group, I think we've cleared 12 or 1300 so far.
Just under 1400, yeah.
Yeah, and from the Talkin Kop, I think we're up to 400-ish, somewhere around there. So we want to get as close to the 1,000 by the end of November. So if you can, brilliant. Now, we done.
If you can't, I'll just say something, guys.
You can't share it.
If you can't share it, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
it's awareness.
About, this isn't like that we've done before in terms of the end goal, like ultimately contributing to changing somebody's life in terms of Sienna and the other ones that we've had. Like, this is something that will be present after November's long gone. Mm-hmm. This is something that will probably affect people heavily over Christmas and people then hanging over into January. It's about raising awareness. You never know. If you share that on your timeline, you might have fucking a pal somewhere who might be struggling. I might make him feel that little bit easier with opening up. So that's mainly what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
The donations, obviously, it's great. But if you can't donate, please share, because I can guarantee the only thing that costs you is a little bit of your time, and that's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well said. Well said.
Like I said, if you share it, if you can, and listen, sharing it can help someone that might need help, and they go, oh, I can get help here, blah 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 blah. It's not like it absolutely depends on money. The money helps to put into resources for this, but there might be someone out there that doesn't know where to turn, and they see something you've shared and they go, oh, I can go to this place to get help, or I can go, or wherever it might be, just to talk to someone, or encourage them to pick up the phone and talk to their friends. Do you know what I mean? Because the funny thing is with men, right, they have all the best mates in the world, right? They're all fucking great, they're all sound, they're all brilliant, but they're so bad at ringing each other and saying, listen, I'm not fucking feeling the best. Do you know what I mean? And the other way around, men are awful at ringing people and going, are you alright? You know what I mean? They're terrible at it. You know, the sort of way. So if you can share it to show people that, by sharing it, you might actually show a friend of yours that's having a hard time, oh look, this guy's in, is aware of this. It makes it easier for him to pick up the phone and ring you if there's something wrong or whatever it might be. So, absolutely, like I said, the link is in the description. If you can help us all at all, it'd be much appreciated. Now we done the first member show during the week. Myself on my own had a lovely chat with all the members that were there. I did do a draw. Because I did say the first 25 members in, I did a draw for a €50 voucher for wherever they wanted. Johnny Longlegs 80 won that draw. Emailed me today and went, lash it into the Movember, I don't want the voucher, which is sound. So the €50 I donated in today on his behalf. So thanks a million to Johnny for that. We're going to do the exact same when we get to 50 members. We're going to do another thing for a voucher. If you want to give it to Movember, you can. If you want the voucher, you can. There's no issue whatsoever. But when we get to 50 members, we're doing another one. So that is the crack there. WeAreLiverpool.ie have some Trippers hats left, some nostalgia, some retroness, as Key called it last week. And what happens there is if you go on to WeAreLiverpool.ie, if you find a hat and buy one, every single penny is going to Movember. All right. So basically, the cost of the hat is taken away from what you pay, and then whatever's left, ourselves and WeAreLiverpool.ie have decided we don't want anything from these hats. There's 12 of them left. So if 12 people buy one of them hats each, they know that all the money's going to Movember. So thanks a million to WeAreLiverpool.ie for that as well. Sausage of the week. Sean, you were in early today. You went, I have sausage of the week. Who is sausage of the week?
Yeah, so I don't know whether the listeners on the other side of the water will be in on this, but my sausage of the week this week is Alex Crook from the parish of shy talk that is Talksport.
Right.
Look, he's always always someone I consider what we'd say here a big fucking idiot. Whenever you hear him talking, you're just saying he's a fucking idiot. He always talks shy. But his interview with Evan Ferguson the other day, like, it's being glossed over all the other shit he was coming out with as well in terms of trying to coax this young fella to sign for United. And Evan Ferguson's like, you just had to congratulate me on my new contract. And you're like saying to me, what's the story with me signing for United? And then he comes out with the why are you so hung up on playing for Ireland? He's like, I'm Irish. And it just speaks to the fucking arrogance of these fucking ages that they'll be on Talksports. They just claim everything as their own, and that's a bit of a British thing now. I won't go into that. Like, you only have to go down to the old National Museum there and have a look around what's knocking around down there. But I just think that's, for me, that's the perfect description of a fucking sausage. Like, people are talking about these political figures and all coming out with the shit that they're coming out with, and racist bigots in train stations. Again, they're not sausages. They're just plain fucking brain dead idiots.
Scum of the
This
earth.
Alex Crump fella is the complete description, embodiment of a sausage. The interview was embarrassing. I cringed for him, and big props to Evan Ferguson for handling it the way he did. He was kind of like, because I'm Irish. And we all got a good laugh out of it. And I know I've seen a lot of the Scouts followers were kind of going, the fucking arrogance of this fella, as if to say, just come and play for England. We don't give a bollocks.
Yeah.
What would you go and play for them for? You'd probably win as much playing for Ireland as you would playing for England as well. So, sausage of the week for me is Alex Crook, because he's never been referred to as before, and he's talked shite for as long as I can remember. And don't get me wrong, Brian Murphy put in the chat there, Rod Little, a very, very, very close second.
Yeah.
For the show he came out with as well today.
Yeah.
I didn't see what he came out with.
Rod Little wrote a piece. Is it the Times he works for?
Yeah. He's basically said that this tribal stuff is not exclusive to Liverpool in terms of what they're coming out with. But
terrorist banter.
He forgot to underline
tragedy chanting.
He forgot to underline the fact that this is actually tragedy chanting, and people who are still mourning for their kids or brothers who went to the game that day are fucking so heavy. We seen the video with last week.
Sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at Anthony Coe says, who wrote it? I'll tell you, Rod Little. He was the fella that ran away and left his missus for a young one. That's one of the best quotes of all time.
The sausage of the week goes to the shock jocks in the media that are knocking around these days who are looking to fucking perpetuate guff and don't realise that in so doing that, they're also inciting hate and making people who are comfortable tragedy chanting feel okay with the shite that they're doing by justifying it, by saying that, everything.
Yeah, well, the next person that does it will point to Rod Little's article and go, oh, well, it's just that.
Exactly.
You know, like anyone that walks into a football ground and makes those chants and genuinely believes that it's about something else.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fucking, what can you say to them? Like, it's got to the point where you're dealing with imbeciles. That's fucking basically what it is. Like, you're dealing with absolute empty fucking heads. If you think, like, these people have that lack of intelligence that they think, you know, actual adults believe that they've walked into the ground going, I'm going to chant this because I know the chant is about X, Y, or Z, but I'm going to pretend that it's about something else because some wanker in the fucking Times says it is. Do you know what I mean? Another like Vase of Flowers is there. He's a contemptible moron. I think that's you're fairly bang on. And the fact that Evan Ferguson, like with regards to Evan Ferguson, he's going around having to tell people he's playing for Ireland because he's Irish. Yeah. It'd be like turning around going, why didn't David Beckham play for Scotland? Because he was on loan at Preston, and that's fairly close to Scotland. You know, like it's the sort of fucking stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but it is. That's what it is.
And he tried to justify it then with a tweet saying, "Oh well, it's mad." So like, get the fucking boat. Like honestly, I think I'd rather go and play for Joseph Fritzl than go and play for Gareth Southgate. That's the god honest truth. That might get me into trouble.
Well,
really
Gareth Southgate, of course, famously orders cocktail sausages in restaurants when he goes out.
Gareth Southgate, who's doing the
order on his cutlery draw.
Yeah, he's doing an in-dot order on the sock draw now tonight, I believe. Has her all in order.
Oh my God. Jono says he also mentioned Liverpool fans booing the anthem as if that's the same as chanting about deaths. What is wrong with people? Liverpool boo the anthem because of the way Liverpool, the city, and the fans of Liverpool have been treated by the government and people in authority within the UK. That's their form of protest, saying this is wrong. And, you know, well, look, you're dealing with absolute fucking empty heads when it comes to this stuff. Keith, I have a question for you.
Before we go, Alex Crook, before we do finish that, you know what I found the interview like? It was like TalkSport didn't have a sports journal or sports presenter at the interview Evan Ferguson, and they sent the entertainment fucking, you know, they didn't know how to ask the questions. It was one of the most cringiest things you'd ever seen in your life, and it was just, I thought Ferguson handled it brilliantly. I thought he just like laughing at him like, I'm Irish, like what? It was never an option. What are you on about? And he keeps pushing and pushing. I thought it was absolute shite, but yeah, you'd expect nothing less from TalkSport, really.
Yeah. I have a question. I have a question for both of you. So we do this every week. The one, I call it the one. So I think we've done, I don't know what we've done. I can't remember what we've done over the last couple of weeks. But anyway, this is the one this time. We were talking about Christmas earlier, right? Christmas is going to be on everyone's brain now. We're in Christmas mode now. Middle of November, 6 weeks out, it's Christmas time, right?
Once the Halloween bonfire goes out, it's Christmas time.
Once you hear the last banger, that's it, right? I want to ask both of you, what's the one Christmas song you would have on all your Christmas playlists? It has to be on it. Like, if you go to a party, say you go, like, I'll put it to you this way. If you walk into a party in your mate's gaff, your cousins or your aunties around Christmas, there's always the tunes on, right? Christmas tunes. What's the one song you fully expect must be on that playlist or you're fucking going home?
My one, I'd say, it's Wham! Last Christmas. I love Last Christmas.
One of my least favourites.
It's fucking great. I think it's great. It's up there. It was between that and Do They Know It's Christmas. I love that one because it's a sing-song one, you know what I mean? And when it comes on, you're up and you're bleeding. Everyone thinks that George Michael, you know what I mean? When Last Christmas comes on, you're belting it out and you're giving it loads. I just think it's a fucking great song, and it's one that I would definitely have. I would a special mention on it. I don't want to step on anyone's toes in case you have this one in your selection. Leona Lewis's Christmas song is great as well. Just in case it was, if it's not on user list, I wouldn't want it not to get a mention.
Shawnee's safe now from being clipped up about Joseph Fritzl because you've mentioned Leona Lewis.
That's why I keep taking bullets from you.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think this is I hate this debate every time it comes around because I genuinely, obviously it's subjective and people.
No, I'm not saying the best song of Christmas. I'm just saying the one that we go, yeah, I love it.
It cannot be argued what the best Christmas song ever is.
Fairy Tale in New York.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why.
It's the one.
It's the one that comes on at the end of the night, every night when you're out on Christmas.
Yeah.
And you're swinging out with strangers, you're blokes you never met in your life in headlocks. And then everyone sings the song. And then there's always one fucker that turns around at the end that tells you that Kirsty McCall got a bang of a jet ski inside. Why do you feel the need to tell me that?
That happens. Actually, and there's nothing funny about Kirsty McCall's death.
No,
but what I'm saying is, no, I know, but you're dead right. You're dead right. It's like, what a song. Do you know what happened to her? That's always the conversation, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if I got outside of that guy, because I think it's an no-brainer, one that I really love is Driving Home for Christmas, Chris Ray. I think it's fucking quality. Because it's one of them ones you can visualise, like, if you're walking down the country or wherever, you're
just sitting on the M50 for 3 hours in the snow.
Yeah, unreal. Like I love that song. It's a real. That's when you know it's Christmas.
I love Christmas music. I think we could talk about 100 songs here. We could talk about 100 fucking songs.
Well, can I give my
case for them all?
Can I give
you
my
can, if it's Leona Lewis, you
I
can
know what yours is, Gav. You've always said this as well.
Step Into Christmas by Elton John.
Yeah,
it's just an absolute banger. It has all the Christmas gear going on, but it's an absolute banger at the same time. And don't get me wrong, I love Fairy Tale in New York. Leona Lewis, I'll go and listen to it.
Get on it.
You know, but then you have like people are saying Slade.
Slade's a great
McCartney's done a few good ones as
War
well.
War is over. Hits.
Yeah.
Always hits the spot. There's a few Christmas songs that make you a little bit,
get
you a little bit after a few bottles of sherry or something.
Yeah. Frankie Goes to Hollywood as well. Like, there's some great songs in there.
A tune. Do you know who I used to be mad about? Oh yeah, was it Kim Wilde? Was it?
Yeah, rocking. Well, the song. What was it? Rocking around the Christmas tree.
I remember
when that with Mel Smith.
Like, she's a bleeding rocket. She was a.
Yeah, she
was. There's a rocket. About.
That probably is. Yeah.
Kim Wilde was a rocket in the 80s. Yeah. She then became a gardener, like, and I don't think she was a rocket then. I think she lost all her
she's in an ad there, bleeding, putting ploughs in her pot, and I was like, still doing all right for her age. I've seen her in an ad there.
Well, look, I think there's plenty of them out there. I just want to know what song do you like. So when Keith goes into your gaff, make sure you have. What was the
One
first
More
one?
Sleep.
Wham!
More Sleep by Leona Lewis.
Wham! And One More Sleep by Leona Lewis. Shawnee just wants Fairy Tale in New York, but don't go on about Kirsty McCall when the fucking thing's over. I'll have a bit of Step Into Christmas. And listen, by the time they're all over, the three of us will be on our ear with drinks, so you can play whatever you want.
But you know it's going to be a great sing song. You know it's going to be a great sing song.
E17, Stay Another Day, says Red Hiker. Pipes a Piece, says Cantors.
Are we going to go for a few gaggles?
Oh, yeah.
I think we should. We should.
For Christmas.
Yeah.
If we try to get a few of the heads out of the chat.
Yeah. Join us. Christmas drinks, sing song.
Pick a Saturday before Christmas and we just go out.
Yeah.
We go today, Liverpool play United. That should be some crack.
We go for the day, yeah. We go for the day. Anyway, thanks for the songs.
Ryan's at 12:30. That's
I'll be in there at 11:30. I'll be opening up for them.
That's it.
I'll open up, boys. I'll take that drinks order in at the back door. No, look, there's loads of Christmas songs there. We'll try organise a drink, and if anyone is around, you want to come out, you're more than welcome. Sure, you know us. We'll drink for anybody. Right, Rest of the week, tomorrow we have our normal Monday night show where we bring 3 Premier League topics. That's cool. Some member shows this week. Tuesday from 9 o'clock we have our first episode on the title winning season, so that should be good. There's 6 of them coming. Wednesday we have some Premier League chat. 10 o'clock Wednesday, so that's good. Thursday, we've 2 shows Thursday night. First one is episode 2 of the title winning season. That'll be on at 8:45, and then at 10 o'clock we're doing a new tribute show where we're going to pay tribute to some of the best Liverpool players who you feel have been some of the best Liverpool players, or some unsung heroes, whatever that might be. Me and Keith are going to do that on Thursday. And Tuesday and Thursday, for the members, we're going to be with you early morning, 10 a.m. Tuesday and Thursday, where we're just going to have a smoke, a cup of tea, and we're going to have a chat about Liverpool. And you're laughing.
What more do you want?
What?
What more do you want? What more
Well,
can you
the member
ask
showed
for?
you the night I was kicked out the back to do it. So I ended up just drinking tea and smoking and talking to the members. It was the fucking crack. I think it was the best show we've ever done, actually. Only because I was allowed.
If you do say so
have a smoke.
yourself.
Yeah. Are the chat invited as cantors? Yeah, if we sort a day out, we let you know. You can come in, no problem. Just bring loads of money with you. That's how it works. Seany, anything else before we go?
No, be careful from that wind out there tomorrow.
Yeah, it's get windy out tonight. Yeah. Oisin says Sunday show never fails to be a great watch. Thanks a million. Yeah, no problem. Thanks a million to you. And like I said, there's 3 shows this week on the main feed. There's 4 or 5 in the members one. And a lot of the shows that are coming up in the members one have been suggested by members. So when you become a member, you'll be into the group. You get all the shows, and while you're on there, suggest anything you want, and we'll do our best to bring it to you. Keith, anything else before we go?
No, enjoyed that. That was a good old chat. Liverpool win. We're all happy. Christmas music. What more can you ask for?
Yeah.
What
else can you ask for? We're all off to listen to Leona Lewis, One More Sleep. And
get on it.
And stick it in our playlist for Christmas. That's been Seany, that's been Keith, I've been Gav. Liverpool 3, Brentford 0. There's a league to be won. Over and out.